Welcome guys to this brand new episode of Wout of the World, and this time I'm in the south of France. Way down in the south, because we are in Guadeloupe, on the French Antilles in the Caribbean. But of course the journey started earlier on. From the Dominican Republic we have been hopping islands for months on our way to the south. From Anguilla we now fly to island number 12 in just over half an hour. This is Guadeloupe. With 1,600 square kilometers, this is the largest of the French Antilles. And that's why we decided to rent a car and drive to our hotel in Le Gaucher. So we're staying just outside the capital Pointe-à-Pitre in the place called Le Gaucher on the beach. And this is our room of Caravelle hotel. Let's see the view, guys. Let's see the view. And Jens. Whoa. And this hotel is quite special. It is shaped like a boat, but upside down. We are right next to the most beautiful beaches and look out over the turquoise blue Caribbean Sea. Wow guys, this is waking up to a beautiful view. We're just having our breakfast over here, and above the water we got this live entertainment from the Papalapelicanos. While we enjoy an authentic French croissant, the pelicans also seem to look for their breakfast. They are quite busy and we have front row seats to this spectacle. Guadeloupe is a very remarkable island and one of my favorites in the Caribbean, especially because you get the best of everything. Like the best beaches combined with activities, culture, food, volcanoes and even rainforest. If you want it all, this is your best pick. At our hotel, we relax at the pool and prepare to explore this incredible island. Guadeloupe is not just one island, it's actually a group of over 10 islands, of which the biggest are Grande Terre, where we are now with the big hotels, the resorts and the beaches, and Basse Terre, an island full of nature, volcanoes, rainforest, and we're going there today. With this car that we rented at Aluego, so let's cross over that island. Consider that Guadeloupe is part of France and therefore the EU, the roads are very well maintained. Well, okay, most of the times. Welcome to the incredible lush rainforest of Guadeloupe. The biggest part of Basseterre consists of the National Park of Guadeloupe, a beautiful jungle with some beautiful waterfalls, like the one behind me. We parked the car and we're gonna make a little hike to the Chutes de Carbet. The Carbet Falls are one of the main attractions of this island, or should I say, 3 of them. The highest one is about 115 meters high, and it's very spectacular to see. However, we don't stay too long, because we immediately experience the tropical weather of Guadeloupe. Wow, that rain was really heavy, but they don't call it a rainforest for nothing. So, we're at a new hiking trail for the Grande Tang, which is a nice lake. Oh! The nature here is overwhelming, and while the park is quite big, you can take short walks to many beautiful places. Once back in Le Gaucher, it is time to visit the beach. And we also get a chance to see how the weather on Grande Terre is very different than on Basseterre. Because the sun is shining here. And we can also make a very nice little trip from our beach. Just off the coast lies the beautiful bounty island, Île du Coucher. You can get there by boat, but I'll fly over there with the drone. It's a beautiful day again here in Guadeloupe. We just woke up, grabbed the car, and we're gonna make a little trip along the south coast towards the eastern end. And we begin at La Caravelle. Look at this beach. You understand this is the best place to fly the drone, right? La Caravelle is one of the most beautiful beaches that you can find in the tourist town of Saint-Anne. The shape of this beach is especially amazing. We are not the only users of this beach. These iguanas turn up everywhere. So far we have already seen how diverse Guadeloupe is, but I'll take you to the most extreme. We go east for the most spectacular landscape in all of the Caribbean. We drove as far as we can possibly drive on Guadeloupe, to the east at Pointe de Château. And the surroundings here are completely different than where we are yesterday. Because yesterday we were in the middle of the jungle, and over here is like a moon landscape, dry rocks and rough sea. I love it. And so Guadeloupe seems like a continent instead of a group of islands. It reminds us of Australia as we watch the wild waves around us. With the drone we can really see what the Pointe de Château looks like. We see all the colors of the rainbow and a bizarre dramatic location from above. Right at the ultimate cliff there's a famous cross, which is why it's called the Point of the Church. From this beautiful place we drive back to civilization. Stay tuned to see how the adventure continues. The best part of traveling the world with the three of us is cleaning up the mess in every single room. Especially the mess that Jens made. Hey Jens? So, we're moving on from Guadeloupe to the next island that has even more beautiful nature than this one. Could it possibly be? Yes. Now we fly from San Juan to Philipsburg to explore one of the most unique islands in the world. This is Saint Martin. Even though Saint Martin is a pretty small island, there's not so much public transportation. So I recommend you to rent a car, because walking through these mountains is also not an option. And in 4 days you can see the entire island. We have this huge minivan, so let's do it. On Saint Martin we stay over on the east side of the island in Oyster Bay, just between the French and the Dutch side, just on the Dutch side. The hotel's name is Princess Heights. We have a studio and this is our kitchen when we do all the cooking and making coffee. This is the bathroom and the room, guys, is particularly big. Not bad, right? And the most amazing feature here, of course, is the view, which is this one. The view from our balcony and with the drone is absolutely breathtaking. Like I said, Saint Martin isn't very big. It's only 8 kilometers in diameter. It's divided in a Dutch and a French part, which are named Saint Maarten and Saint Martin.
through the colorful streets of Philipsburg and explore the Dutch side. We'll hit the capital later as we drive straight to some of the highlights first.
The best beaches on St. Martin can be found on the south coast near the airport. But a stop at Harold Jack's viewpoint is also worth it, because it's amazing. Seriously guys, this view? You can see everything. Hey Jens! Wow!
On the one side we see Coal Bay, and on the other side is the incredible natural harbor of Philipsburg, called Great Bay. The bright green lake over there is the Great Salt Pond, surrounding Pond Island. Have you ever seen such a combination of colors?
The most famous beach on St. Martin is this beach called Maho Beach. It's just outside the airport and everybody here is waiting for the planes to land because it's almost touching the beach and then it lands here on the airport. Awesome!
This is really spectacular stuff, but if you come to this island to do some chillaxing, I'd recommend another beach.
Because just a little drive further is Mullet Bay Beach, which is my personal favorite beach of St. Martin, especially on the Dutch side. It's so lovely.
Now this is paradise. Mullet Bay is also known as the habitat and the nesting area of sea turtles. The nesting season is from April to November, but if you're lucky like me, you can snorkel with them all year round. The Dutch capital of Philipsburg feels like a small village. It has a population of only 2,000 and it's very rewarding to take a stroll through the nice shops and restaurants. This place makes us feel right at home in the Netherlands. Hey, I believe that's my bike.
So what are we making over here in 24 Kitchen of Wout of the World? We have some pumpkin with corn and chicken nuggets from the grill oven. While drinking a whiskey and coke. You gotta have standards while you travel, right? Oh, it's no punishment to wake up here on St. Martin. I will show you the view to which I wake up every morning.
Time to enjoy that fantastic pool with a view. The east side of St. Martin near Oyster Bay really is the perfect getaway. And we can also see one of the next islands on our trip. Over there is St. Barth.
A very good morning with super weather here in St. Martin. Or should I say bonjour, because of course today we're going to the French side of St. Martin. Let's do it!
This is the only place where the Netherlands and France share a border. And from there we literally drive to the highlight of Saint-Martin.
The highest point on the island of Sint Maarten is on the French side and it's called Pic Paradis, the Paradise Peak. And we're going to walk over there. You can almost get there by car, but the last 10 minutes or so you have to walk.
We can see the two capitals. This is Marigot. And on the other side we see Philipsburg in the distance. But this walk will show us a lot more as we reach the top.
So when you get to the top, there's this big antennas, you can walk around it, and on every side you see another part of St. Martin, but you can also see St. Barth, you can see Anguilla, and you can even see Saba and some of the Virgin Islands over there. It's really amazing, this view. On a clear day like this.
In the back over there is St. Barth. And that steep hill over there is Saba. The flat island nearby is Anguilla, where we'll be going next.
Way up on the north side, on the French part of St. Martin, you will find this beach called Anse Marcel. You will have to drive a bit through the mountains, but over there, when you get there, the view is amazing and this beach is gorgeous.
In 2017, Hurricane Irma caused a lot of damage to Saint Martin, especially on the French side. However, the country has been recovering quickly, and this particular spot is truly heaven on earth. There is still so much adventure ahead of us.
And we're still on a big trip through the Caribbean. I'm now on St. Martin, but we're taking the boat to Anguilla.
There are several providers of day trips to Anguilla. Because of the good reviews, we chose one called Boomerang. We sailed through the rough sea between Saint Martin and Anguilla for about an hour. Our first stop is a set of pristine bounty islands called Prickly Pear.
The country of Anguilla isn't only one island. There's a couple of islands you can take a boat ride to, and we stop at one called Prickly Pear. This is a beautiful nature island, and of course I brought my snorkel gear to see what's in the reefs over here. It's amazing.
And it's ideal for snorkeling too. The coral isn't the most colorful I've ever seen. But there's an abundance of fish over here. And if you're lucky, this is also a good place to hang around with, oh yes, sea turtles. So let's explore the island some more above water. Prickly Pear Cay is a small pair of uninhabited islands about 10 kilometers north of Anguilla. The western island is particularly rocky, while the eastern one has a perfect stretch of white sand beaches. We continue the trip for more adventure, crossing this crazy blue water. So this is the main island of Anguilla. It's a tiny country that falls under the British Overseas Territories. Only some 7,000 people live on the main island, and tourism is by far the biggest source of income. Which makes sense because these white beaches are considered to be among the best in the world. It's time for lunch here at Crocus Bay. We can never get enough of that Caribbean-style chicken. Oh, and corn from the barbecue. The highlight of our trip is yet to come. Little Bay offers some of the best snorkeling, and we can definitely confirm that.
Peace out.
Among others, we see this stingray. And some more green sea turtles. And here is something that I've never seen before. This curious creature is the remora fish. Before we head on to the next bay, it's time for a little cliff jump. And then it's on to Meads Bay. Of the 33 beaches that Anguilla has, this is one of the main ones. Still, it's not so crowded compared to St. Martin, for instance. Oh, and it's drop-dead gorgeous.
So guys, that's it for today. We saw Anguilla and the nicest spots from St. Martin in one day. And I can really recommend this tour by Boomerang. You see all that you need to see and you have the best day in your life because these beaches, man, amazing. Truly. See you next time.
But before that, let me show you where we're going next. From Meads Bay we head back to St. Martin for a little encore. And on the way we see the famous Princess Juliana Airport for a little show. Over here the big airplanes fly insanely close to the beaches. This here is Mullet Bay Beach. And while the planes keep flying over, we say goodbye to St. Martin. And from that nature paradise we make another awesome trip from St. Martin, this time to St. Barth.
Today we pay a visit to one of the most exclusive islands you can find in the whole Caribbean. From St. Martin we took a boat ride in 1 hour and we arrived in Saint-Barthélemy, also named St. Barth. In the 50s this island wasn't even that special, until in the 60s a bunch of guys from Hollywood, millionaires with their boats, came over and thought, well, let's celebrate our holidays here and spend millions. And that's why this is the richest island you can find in the whole Caribbean. So for us backpackers, what can we do here? I'll show you. We can walk around, visit some beaches, see some views, and it's all free.
So from the French side of Saint Martin, we took the luxurious ferry run by Voyager. It costs around $60 for a return trip and departs 3 times a day. In about 1 hour we sailed to Gustavia, the fortified capital of Saint Barth. And the perfect weather makes the way over there very enjoyable already. From the boat we see the outlying islands, which are rocky and uninhabited.
If you make a little walk from the capital Gustavia to some hills around the city, you will see that there are some nice forts from where the view on the town is magnificent.
Here at Fort Carl we can see other sites too, and the drone shows the natural harbor of Gustavia. There are of course many options for renting a car, but because of Saint Barth's small size, a little hike is also an option. Saint Barth was named after the brother of Christopher Columbus, Bartholomew. Over the years the island was totally adapted for tourism. And this busy airport is a sight on its own.
After only a 20-minute walk, we arrive at the most popular beach of Saint Barth, Saint-Jean. Let's swim, Jensie!
But before we leave, we make 2 side trips from Saint Martin. First to laid-back Anguilla, and then also to the picturesque Saint-Barthélemy, or Saint Barth. all this and the relatively unknown St. Kitts and Nevis soon. Subscribe to Wout of the World. Ciao! Apart from the white sand and crazy blue water, the private jets flying closely over the beach are the biggest attraction here. There is one every 10 minutes or so. But there is more. The most exquisite hotel on St. Barth is right in the middle of this beach. It's called Eden Rock and it's among the best hotels in the entire world. Prices start at $3,000 a night. Chilling on the beach of Eden Rock is totally free, so let's do that instead. When we walk back to Gustavia, we see the nearby beaches Colombier and Anse des Flamands too with the drone. Along the west coast, we walk back to Gustavia at the end of the day.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and you've seen that St. Barth doesn't need to be so expensive. Go on a Sunday, all the stores are closed, so my wife didn't go any shopping. Yeah, I can really recommend the island, it's beautiful. And we're going on to the next one, St. Kitts and Nevis. We're spending our last day on the poolside here in St. Martin and then it's time to move on to the next island. I'm really looking forward to see what's happening over there. Guyans! This is Martinique.
But first, let's do a recap. The Caribbean trip started in the Dominican Republic and we traveled south, hopping so many islands. From the French island Guadeloupe, we hopped over to Dominica, the natural paradise.
Away into the wild, I know my aim, I'll dive inside.
And from the beaches of Barbados, we now fly to Martinique. Martinique is the second largest island of the French Antilles and is therefore even part of the EU. The capital is Fort-de-France, a city with a colonial past but now also with about 90,000 inhabitants.
To see the entire island of Martinique, we rented a car at local car company La Perle Rent-A-Car. And normally I would go for a four-wheel drive, but it's no need because all the roads here are paved and it's France after all. So a normal car will do.
The distances are quite large for a Caribbean island. It takes us about 3 hours from north to south.
We start in Les Trois Îlettes, a tiny town on the peninsula called Diamant. Just across the bay from the capital Fort-de-France is an interesting place ready to explore. This was the birthplace of Josephine, the first wife of Napoleon Bonaparte. And there's a lot of nature and cultural sights to see here. A colonial little town.
Many tourists start their adventure here because it's where most of the hotels are, and also a playground for Jens. You can also get to this side by ferry from Fort-de-France.
A place you can't skip here on the Diamond Peninsula is La Savana des Enclaves. It's a big outdoor museum with everything about the lives of the former slaves here during the time of the French settlements.
Besides a piece of horrific history, the Savana des Enclaves is also a very beautiful botanical garden, and a part of it is based on the indigenous people. A little further down the road we pass a beautiful beach called Anse-Mitan.
I've been here, but I have to stay afloat. It's not easy. Be a person you don't want. Can somebody?
We drive down to the most southern part of Diamant Peninsula, and over there we can find Plage du Diamant, which is kind of a beach like in Robinson Crusoe or Castaway, just everything you want, nature. And some palm trees, mountains, love it.
I don't know, where's the life like?
Not your typical pearly white beach, but a rough mix of golden and lava sand.
I don't know, I don't wanna grow, just live myself. I don't wanna grow, the things I left behind me. I don't wanna grow, just live myself. I don't wanna grow, the things I left behind me.
A little to the west from Les Trois Îlettes you will find two beaches where you can snorkel perfectly. They're called Anse du Four and Anse Noire.
By the way, this is one of your best chances in the entire Caribbean to encounter sea turtles.
The first couple of days on Martinique we're staying on the west coast in a little town called Saint-Pierre, which used to be the capital of the entire island. We're in a little hotel called Résidence Roxelle, with a beautiful pool in the middle of the jungle.
Behind me.
Isn't this just the perfect getaway? Tucked away in the jungle, we enjoy the tranquility of this nice little apartment. It seems though that we're not completely alone.
Where's my shy head? Is this called living? Look behind. I don't know, where's the life like?
Saint-Pierre is the typical Caribbean town where time has stood still and we have the beach to ourselves.
Don't let myself. I don't wanna go. The things I were behind me.
Well guys, today I'm literally in cloud 9. I love this island so much and we wanted to see its highest point, Mount Pelée. It's near to Saint-Pierre where we're staying, but unfortunately when we were driving over here, the rain clouds covered the island completely. And that's the weather here, kind of unpredictable. But it gets better in 5 minutes, I'll bet.
The restaurant at the top here is super cozy for when we shelter from the rain. It's called La Refuge d'Aileron.
We're having the time of our life here on Martinique, and in Saint-Pierre we enjoyed the beach for a couple of days. But now it's time to cross the island straight through the middle of the jungle, because that is Martinique, the jungle. And we stop here at a waterfall called Zot Gendarme. You gotta see this. So on the way we have already seen the lush nature of Martinique. But if you want to see everything in one place, all the flowers and the trees, you have to go to Le Jardin de Balata. It's one of the most beautiful places here on Martinique.
The nature here is almost too beautiful to film. And with a real canopy walk through the treetops, we imagine ourselves to be in Costa Rica. It's time to look for the sun. And for that, we have to go to the south.
When you visit the Caribbean, you want to go to the beach. And the most beautiful beaches of Martinique can be found in the south. We drove to Sainte Anne and over there you can find Plage des Salines, which is the most beautiful one.
All the beaches combined, there is about 3 miles of beautiful white sand next to the bluest ocean. It's the place for the beach lovers. Hey, and there we have some of those beach lovers.
Over on the east side, we're staying in a place called Le François in Hotel Plein Soleil. And this is something else. Not only the view on the ocean, but the inside isn't too bad either.
So we started in the northwest, went all the way south and over to the east side. And everywhere we went, the land and the views are a bit different.
Unfortunately, this will be our last night on Martinique, and we sleep here in this tiny little house in the middle of the jungle. I'll see you soon on the next island, St. Lucia.
So follow us on a big world tour for the whole year, and there is so much more to come.